Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the channel. As I've covered in several videos already this calendar year, Kabam appears to really want to, of course, make significantly more money than they did in the first quarter of 2022. They probably looked at their balance sheet, got a new CEO at the beginning of last year and thought, we need to find ways to drain players' units more. We need to find ways to develop revenue. Now, of course, daily specials are still a thing, and I would continue to argue that the best value if you're Throne Breaker, but especially Wallet Breaker, aka Paragon, is to spend $5 a day on the Throne Breaker Daily Special, which gives you a Paragon stamp as well as the normal Throne Breaker purchases. And if you don't want to buy it every day, in terms of crystals, the best value is to get both the Throne Breaker and Cavalier Daily Special and spend $10 4 times a month, once a week, on Sundays, because that gives you 4 Cavalier Nexus crystals, which Kabam still charges a decent amount for on a normal day. When Sundays, that's just retail price, plus you get a Cavalier and a Thronebreaker stamp. We also have seen, of course, the side quest and main quest buff that has truly challenged players to the point that we have our returned prodigal son, great leader Seaton, calling him out, which thankfully for that very much, for similar rewards that we would not have expected to make things harder to get the same stuff, and yet that is very much what this is. That very much is what we're looking at. So, how is Kabam going to make money on top of making the difficulties harder and doing their best to grind out content? Well, the early access bundles, which you can see I have not purchased, are really a genius answer to this. You see, a year ago, when 2022 started, Battlegrounds didn't exist. So you had no purpose other than maybe some unique, niche content, but even that probably not. You had no purpose to ever automatically want a 5-star champion other than just collecting them. Now, Ascension, which still to me sounds like a new age church, is going to challenge that partially because we've theorized on this channel and many others that Ascension is going to require you to have a bonus synergy, maybe a bonus health pool, bonus attack pool, maybe all of the above, if you have max ranked, maybe max sig of, let's say, the 4, 5, and 6-star of the same champion. The only way you can guarantee yourself the max sig, especially immediately, or at least even just the champion itself, and if you don't have an Awakening Gem, you need to buy 2, is to buy the Early Access Bundle. But what we've also seen in Battlegrounds is something that's highly fascinating. Wait, are you telling me that the death of 5-star champions was short-lived? That 5-star champions can still be pretty good? Yeah. And on top of that, it's worth noting that players have seen, not always, but sometimes, that if you replace your rank 4 6-stars with some, say, rank 5 5-stars, you get easier matchups, better matchups, fairer matchups, whatever you want to call it. And that gives players an incentive to place more 5-stars. I had 2 people who bought early access bundles in the live stream last night who said that they put Absorbing Man straight to rank 5, which makes sense because we just had a level up event on Friday, and put him on defense, and he did not lose a match. Now, this kind of reminds me of Iron Man Infinity War, who was the greatest defender we'd ever seen in Alliance War when he first came out, and then people slowly started to realize, okay, you can bait the heavy with the heavy. New defenders are the toughest in the first few months when people don't have them, and they're so mysterious. And Absorbing Man, just like with Baron Zemo, who has truly changed the game forever and really added multiple new metrics and features to the game that I think we're only going to see as time goes on. It reminds me of how Apocalypse changed the game. It reminds me of how Hercules changed the game. It reminds me of so many champions that have unique synergies, and of course Zemo's got a ton of synergies. But Absorbing Man is the first of the 2 champions this month. Of course, Zemo we're waiting another 2 weeks for an early access bundle. And I believe that 5-stars have more purpose in Battlegrounds now, which I think is kind of neat. But also, the pressure to buy the early access bundle increases when you know that you can get, I don't know if you would call them cheap wins, but certainly more wins from the new 5-star, guaranteed, and that Ascension's right around the corner in the next few months, we assume, if Kabam hasn't changed their timeline, which is always a big assumption. And that will further add proof. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the top players are now saying that, even if they might have already said it, but it's just going to back it up even more, that in order to compete at the highest levels, you have to basically buy at least one, if not both, early access bundle every couple weeks, which means that's an additional $200 of purchases every month on top of special events like Cyber Weekend and July 4th and spring cleaning, etc. So, Kabam is a marketing genius with this. Battlegrounds now puts the pressure to buy these guaranteed 5-star new champions, and those 5 stars can still do damage even against rank 4 6 stars. And the proof is in the pudding with the Battlegrounds records of those that place him, especially this month with this meta as the defender. What do you think? Are you tempted to buy early access bundles, or are you happily going free to play, or are you somewhere in between like I am? Thanks for the feedback as always. Thanks for watching.